Hello, hello, hello. This is Carla Michelle, and I am so glad that you took the time to push that play button. And I want you to know that it is such an honor to come into your homes or come into your car or just come into your ear and hear what's happening on my side of the world with the great guests that I have. I would love for you to subscribe to the Strong Women's Network podcast. So go ahead and do that and give us a 5-star rating. That always helps. And today I have a great guest. As always, this podcast has been such a blessing, and I've had such an honor to speak to such great women, but soon to come are some great men that I'll be talking to. But now I have a musician, an influencer, a model who is a rising star. She's been doing this thing for over 6 years. To me, she is a risk taker because this is 4 years in and she is blowing up. I'm so happy to have her here. She is making waves, she is turning heads, she is doing the thing. And I want to introduce you to Deja Janea. Deja!
Hey,
Hey! How
how
are
are you?
you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm blessed to be a part of your podcast, and I'm excited to see what we talk about today.
Yes, yes. So I know you. Could you tell us a little bit, the listeners, a little bit about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Deja Janea. I am from Tacoma, Washington, but I was also raised in Delaware. I now live in Los Angeles, and I've been living in LA for 4 years now, pursuing my modeling career for 6 years. Um, I am signed to two agencies, but I also freelance. I've worked with brands such as Google, Disney, eNews, Proactive, to name a few. I've had a billboard in Times Square, and just a lot, just to give you a little bit of my career, my field. I also do like beauty campaigns and editorials, and I put together and creative direct my own shoots as well. I also make music. I just started making music in 2019. I have a recent single called New Chapter, and I have music
Mm.
videos on my YouTube, and my music is out on Apple Music, but or just all over on all platforms. What else? What else could I give you?
Yeah, well, let me because I hear you saying you write your own music, right?
Yes, I do.
And you're so creative. Could you tell us like what inspires you? Because I think one of the things, even though I asked you a question, I'm about to give some background. One of the things that's so important is when you have goals in life, it's a strategy. It's using your
Hmm.
talents. So, what inspires you to do what you do?
Well, I mean, thank God I have so much inspiration all around me. Just living in Los Angeles and being in a sunny, environment.
Mm,
I'm a
okay.
summer baby, so I love nature, like trees, the sun, the water, the beach. Nature really is like an inspiration in just how big the world is, and just the circle of people that I'm around. Um, I come from a musical family. My mom has always played like jazz music, R&B, and she used to, sing herself. My dad as well, he's like hip hop, but he also listens to like old, like soulful music. And I grew up
Mm,
on that. My brother and sister create music, and they've been doing that for plenty of years. So I've, just witnessed how they maneuver. And as far as music, I get my inspiration like when I write. I like to talk about love. I have a new song called New Chapter, and that's about overcoming hard times. And I was in a dark place when I
mm,
wrote that song, and I was seeing my way out of it. I was looking at myself through that, and that's how that song was inspired. Um, as far as modeling, what inspires me to keep going is just the honestly the feedback that I get, and I
mm,
feel like the support that I get, not that I owe people anything, but it's like I have people who really root for me, and and the times that it gets hard for me, I remember that there's people actually wanting me to win. They actually, want me to
mm.
like do good. Um so definitely the feedback and just keeping myself in good spirits. Like, I'm a really godly woman, and so I read the Bible and I watch, all types of sermons. I pray. That's like my biggest foundation is prayer.
Mm.
And I read a lot of books, and I just do a lot of stuff to keep myself creative, art shows, concerts when we could go to them. But um yeah, so that's pretty much my inspiration, just people I surround myself with.
Well, that's good because it sounds like you just keep your what's the word? Your ground just fertile, so
Mhm.
that you are
Absolutely.
able to create from the fruit that comes from the reading the Bible and prayer, being around a family of people that are supportive, and
Right.
even learning from heartbreak. So I got to
Mhm.
ask, because there's listeners here, and New Chapter. Do you know
Mhm.
any of the lyrics? I'm sure you do, but what do you like? Give us some of the lyrics. You don't have to sing. I wouldn't
Okay.
put you on the spot like
Um
that, but just like speak
okay, I'll
some of the
sing for
lyrics
you.
to us. So, oh, you gotta sing?
No, no, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
okay. Oh, okay. I'm like, dang.
I'm not
Mic
there
to
yet.
check mic, check mic,
Right.
check mic. Okay.
That's funny. So the hook of New Chapter goes, new page, new chapter, I'm coming out stronger.
Mm,
And then let's see, another lyric is letting my past go, living in the present, focus on the future. So the song is just
mm,
really about, like, it starts off of like, okay, I have a lot on my mind. Like, the beginning of the song is just like a lot's on my mind. Then the hook comes in, and then the second verse is like starting my day off with a new mindset. I'm gonna do my best. Like, that's pretty much
mm.
how the song goes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good because I think, some of the things, one thing I like to say is your tears can be someone else's refreshing pool.
Mm,
And that song for you, Heartache, and coming from a place where you felt that you didn't know what your next step could possibly be when it comes to love, I would
right.
assume. And so,
Yeah. It's
go,
definitely
yeah,
love, and
some
just like career wise, just all of it.
career.
Because I
Okay.
actually, crazy thing, I
Mm.
wrote that song before the pandemic, but I recorded the song.
Oh.
I released the song during the pandemic, so it was like a perfect time to lay that out. But
Mm.
during that time, I was going through some just like relationship issues, and just self, just life. I was just going through life stuff that I was like, okay, like, I have to change my mindset. If I want to be where I want to be, I have to change my mind. So I'm really proud of
Yeah.
that song. And also, like, I'm independent. I don't have any promo, any marketing. I do my own marketing. I just create with my friends. Thank God. My friend Sebastian CB4 shot the video. My brother Sean Ray, he vocal produced the song, and he also engineered it. And I had met these producers from, I believe, in Petersburg. They're somewhere out the country, and they just sent me the beat. And that song it just hit 6,000 plays on SoundCloud, which is crazy to me because thank you. It's crazy
Yay!
because I don't promote it or talk about it, so it just helps me know that people are actually receiving that song. So
That is so great. And well, I'm applauding.
thank
Woo!
you.
Because you didn't let anything stop you. Meaning, like, people wait until they get the deal, or people wait
Mm,
until they're recognized, or discovered is the word, right?
yeah,
But
absolutely.
you like opened your own door. Like you said, I like to. How people are like, I want to sit at such and such table, or Beyonce's table, or
Mm,
whoever is that. But you made your own table,
I love
and
that.
you invited people to sit at your table and eat from your, what you have to give, and that is so great because
Thank
you didn't
you.
make excuses.
Absolutely not.
Gosh, you didn't, because you could have.
Yeah, I
You
could
could have
have.
made
There was definitely a
excuses.
lot of things
Yeah.
that got in the way of it, that didn't want it to happen, or just, but also, like I said, I'm so grounded in God. So I like pray about these things, and just like visions, and
Mm,
even before I write my own music, I pray about it. I pray to, like, God to use me in a way to, like, you know, for people to hear what I have to say. Um so I have another song
That's
too
good.
called World Peace that's not out yet, but it's kind of like a gospel, like uplifting, encouraging song. I'm not sure when I'll
Okay.
release that, but that's just an idea of, but music isn't really my focus. Music is just kind of like
What is it? Are you
modeling.
sure? Because
Modeling is for
I mean, because
sure.
you're killing it.
Thank you.
Modeling.
Yes.
You're
Modeling
killing.
for sure
So
is my thing.
okay, so how did modeling come to pass? How did this happen?
That's also another thing that just kind of came, as prayer. I was actually gonna go into the Air Force. So I was before high school. I was in ROTC, and I was flight
Mm-hmm.
commander of my class, which is kind of like the leader of the class. And so I had
Mm-hmm.
gotten into this relationship, and the guy that I was with kind of didn't really want me. Basically, like, cause you have to go to basic training for 6 months and all that. And he was just kind of like, I don't know if I can do long distance. So that kind of discouraged me. Then I had a friend, um, who was a photographer at the time. She was getting into it, and so she was just like, "Hey, you want to take some pictures?" And I'm like, "Sure." So it just started off as like a hobby. We just would I just picked the most random thing in my closet, and at the time I didn't know nothing about makeup. I didn't know nothing about anything. So we would just take pictures, and that transpired into me booking jobs in Philadelphia, for like local boutiques. And then I met another photographer. His name is Native Pharaoh. He's based out of Pennsylvania, and we met through Instagram, and instantly we had a connection and just started creating. And he just like his work back then in 2016 or prior was
Mm-hmm.
amazing, and like it's even more amazing now. So we would just create, and then I would just post on Instagram, and I would just get feedback. So it just started honestly from that as a hobby, and then I just kept going. I fell in love with it. And then I came to LA for the first time in 2016, and I had a pretty decent portfolio. So I took it to an agency, which the agency I'm signed to now. Well, I was signed to this commercial agency first, but then something happened, and they kind of, we went our separate ways. So they introduced
Mm-hmm.
me to my agent, and I've been with her ever since, and that kind of, went from there. So honestly, I would say my career started as a hobby, but mainly Instagram, and just getting opportunities from people reaching out to me from Instagram and stuff like that.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm gonna back this up a little bit.
Okay.
And it's all good because people struggle, like almost sell their souls
Mm,
to have the experiences that you've had. And it is so, I mean, I celebrate those who have really, 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 I'm not saying you didn't work hard. I don't mean that at all,
mhm.
but your trust in God is is points to offering you some sweatless victories, meaning your route has just kind of appeared in some sense. And
Mm.
I hear what I'm saying because I know there's a lot when I talk to my clients, it's I use the word sweatless victories because some of us are trying so hard
Right.
to do what's in our hearts, and you are following your heart, and it's not necessarily the easiest thing, but the doors are opening because you're telling me that your CEO is God.
Mhm.
He's the one that is kind of ordering, not kind of, he's ordering your plans, your steps, and you're just open to that because even with your music, it's like, yeah, I kind of just write a song and then my family, they come together and this thing. Now modeling, yeah, my friend, she wanted to take pictures, and I was like, and then it's you not limiting the talent that's in
Mm.
you and just being open to the path that it comes to you on, and then walking that path.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you've had some turns and gotten off the road, maybe, I don't know, but it seems like you've really grasped, like, okay, God, what's my next step? Okay, God, this is what I have. Okay, God, lead me.
Right.
Is that
That's
true?
You're absolutely spot on, and I'm like, to just go back to it not being easy, it really it sounds like me saying it, it's just like, yeah, but it has been hard. I've heard so many no's. I've gotten terrible
Mhm.
pictures. Um, I've been told, certain things like people used to laugh at me when I started, even family members, they would laugh at me modeling. They would just like make jokes about it or think like, certain
Mm.
things like, just talking behind my back or
Yeah.
didn't believe in me. And I had to go through all of that stuff where I went through like a personal issue as well. So it hasn't been easy at all. Excuse me. But yes, I do like the Bible says, walk by faith, not by sight. That's what I try my best to do. But it's, trust me,
Mm.
it sounds like that's what, that was my point I was going to make too, is like modeling looks easy. You never really know what goes on behind, the closed doors or behind the scenes. But
Mhm.
I will say, like, the moves that I've made or the jobs that I've booked, I've literally prayed about them. Because before I started modeling, I was lost and I didn't know, okay, I'm not going into the military, so what am I gonna do? So I just prayed and
Mhm.
prayed and prayed, give me a purpose, give me a purpose. What's my purpose? What's my, like, that was my everyday prayer. And then
Mm.
modeling just, it just kept growing from there. So once I realized that I loved it, I prayed over it to be protected, and to be guided and to book the
Mm.
jobs that were meant for me. So yeah, you're
Mm.
absolutely right about that. God is definitely my CEO.
Yeah, because you're on your way to the Air Force.
Right.
And I remember growing up, I told my dad I wanted to go to the army. He was like, no. I was like, but I think I do well. I've never been to ROT. I was never in ROTC or nothing. All of a sudden, I'm going to so
That's funny.
it's so funny. I don't know what I was thinking about. I guess I just thought, hey, let me get out of here. And
Yeah,
maybe,
something different.
people talk about going away to the service. Yeah. So, for you to think about going to the Air Force and I mean, you were the leader of ROTC, and even though the guy said, I can't, I don't do long distance,
Hmm.
that could be a steering for you to, stay on the path that you were on by staying
Right.
local and not going to the Air Force. It's just amazing that sometimes we overlook even like the no's or
Mm.
the people laughing behind your back and how that is such a part of the
Yeah,
plan
to
sometimes,
distract us,
right?
because I could have
Yeah.
easily, there's been so many times, especially during the pandemic, where I'm like, even honestly, to be 100% today, I thought to myself, like, do I want to continue this? Like, do I want to continue this path? Because it's
Mm,
just been so like hard to continue and to maintain and to get to the next step and to keep people's attention and to keep
mhm,
agents attention and keep booking. It's a lot of steps to it. um but yeah, it is all a part of the plan. You just can't, you just have to know that that's what you're destined to do, and you can't give up on it. Because me being, where I am now, if I give up today, 5 years down the road, I'm just always going to wonder, I wonder if I didn't give up, what would happen.
yeah.
And I don't want that.
It that it Yeah, because well, and I think about, because you mentioned the pandemic,
Mm,
and eventually we're going to have things open up.
right.
That's what we hope and pray,
Mhm.
right? And how do you find, you kind of touched on it a little bit, and is there anything else that you want to add to how do you find yourself staying ready to when we go back to the world, or our world opening back up? How do you stay ready?
Um, I just, so for me, I have a lot of affirmations around my room. I just have like a
Mm,
bunch of note cards all over. Just like I have like a board filled with notes, and just reminding myself of where I am and where I want to be. And just constantly looking at my work and trying to progress and just staying inspired and knowing that that's just my desire. Like, no matter what, I've tried to stop. And it's like, oh, here comes a booking. Or, even now during the pandemic, I'm like, it's crickets right now. Does anybody know I'm here? And then I get a week of 2, 3 shoots. So, um,
mm,
staying ready is just staying ready within myself, because I can, do everything as far as model and keep myself busy, but really what I try to stay ready is in my spirit, and I try to feed my spirit, and so that I'm not wearing myself out during this time, and just getting all the rest that I can and just relaxing myself. Like I take baths pretty much every day. I do face masks and
Good.
hair masks. I just try to really get my feed my spirit so that when we do open up, I have all this energy. I have all this, like this love to give to the world, to the cameras, to my sets and everything. So just pretty much, yeah.
Go, girl. Preach. Love to the camera, to the set,
Right.
to the.
I gotta bring my energy.
But yeah, but you know what? And that is so beautiful. This is the time that I think we've been forced to
Yeah.
rest. We've
Yeah.
been forced to face ourselves.
Mhm.
We've been forced to
Seriously.
find the peace. Yeah, and many of us are missing that.
Mhm.
Many of us are missing
That point.
this
Yeah.
moment because we're still being in chaos. So we're
Mhm.
so used to chaos that this silence or this
Yeah.
peace
It's
or this
uncomfortable.
feeling that God has forgotten us, yeah, makes us very uncomfortable. I mean, I attest to that. There's times I'm going, okay, this is
Yeah.
enough. And I go,
Yeah.
no,
Relax. Calm down.
relax. Yeah, calm down. Go by the pool.
Yeah.
Go get a massage. I
Yeah.
mean, where it's safe, do something like, and you bath every day.
Mm.
I mean, that is, I got to
I
take that up
try.
because I'm doing baths like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I worked out really hard. I'm gonna go take a bath, not just to
Yeah.
have
Just
those
to
moments.
relax.
Okay, so
Mhm.
for the ladies listening, is there anything special you do with your bath ritual? Do you
Um.
have a bath ritual, or you just
Yeah, I do actually. So I like my baths pretty hot, like medium. So I just, run the water, and I love candles. I have in my room probably close to 50 plus candles, maybe. I
no?
really do.
You
I have so many candles. So
you don't even have to turn on the
no, I
light.
don't. I actually
It's
don't.
just
So I'll put some meditation
I love
music
it.
on. I have a meditation playlist,
Oh my god.
and just like, nice instrumentals that make me feel comfortable. I light maybe 6 candles, put them around the tub on my toilet because my toilet is right near my tub. Um, and
Yeah.
then I have like this, what's it called? Where the humidifier, where you can put essential oils in
Yeah.
it, and
Okay.
the essential oil, I think
Okay.
that's what it's called. I might be wrong.
I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. It's called
Dang, I'm looking right at it.
Anyway, we
Okay,
know what we're
cool. So
talking
I have
about.
my
You know what you're talking
essential
about.
oils.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
essential
there you
oils,
go.
and then I just get in the
Oh.
bath, and I normally spend like most of the time praying, or I'll read my book, or
Mm.
I'll just sit there and just like relax my mind. And it takes work, trust me. It takes a lot of work to just
Okay.
be still. Like that's and like you said, for a lot of people during this time, it's hard. I keep seeing people like post about it on Instagram, or like, I don't know what to do with myself during this time. I don't know how to handle this, and it's tough. It really
Yeah.
is. It can make you go crazy. It can make you, feel uninspired, but it's necessary to grow. Like that's just, pressure
Hmm.
makes diamonds. So if you want to be a diamond, you can't
Yeah.
avoid the pressure. Like you just can't. So yeah,
You
you
cannot.
can't.
And so yeah, that is beautiful. That is beautiful to have a bath ritual and to really be committed to saying
Yeah.
body, slow down, mind, slow down. And you touched on a really good point about where people really, like I said before, not knowing what to do. I find myself in transparency here, like the other week, was it? And just like wanting to cry, but why?
Right.
But yet, I think that it's the shift, it's the
Mhm.
change, it's the normal, whatever we knew is no
Right.
more. Um, how do we stay? How do I encourage people during this time? And you know what? And I think you've got a hold of it too. When you said, I want to give love to the set and love to,
Mhm.
your music and everything. That's how we stay on top of it is honoring the quiet
Yeah.
times, honoring the bath rituals, honoring people who drink tea
Right.
and are, meditatively drink a tea or just sitting quietly and looking at the
Yeah.
mountains. Those are the
Going to the beach
things
or
that
hiking.
heal our
Right.
soul. going to the beach, hiking,
Mhm.
exercising some kind of form, and not running away from the
Right.
feeling of,
Mhm.
I really don't understand what's going on right
Yeah,
now,
and
but
it's
embracing it.
important, and even like you mentioned, like crying, I feel like that is such a great way to release emotion or just release tension in your body to
Hmm.
really like just let it out. Like whatever. You might be like,
Yes.
"Why am I crying?" I've had that moment so many times during this, but then I wake up or I feel better after. I'm like, "Okay, I feel lighter." Like I
Yes.
needed to let that out. But that type of
Yeah.
healing is like going to the beach. It's not meant for everyone. I feel like people just need to know what their soul requires to be at peace. So it might just be laying in the bed all
There
day,
you
or it
go.
might be taking a road trip,
Hmm.
or being around family. And during this
Yeah.
time, women with kids, I don't have any kids, so I can't imagine you don't really have much peace. But it could be as simple as
Mm.
taking 20 minutes before bed to while your kids are asleep, your husband's asleep, taking time to yourself to go in the living room and just sit there, or go in the bathroom and
Yeah.
just sit in the shower, or take a drive. Just getting away from the noise and just silencing that. And it's hard, but it's important. So yeah.
Yeah, it's important to find your
Right.
thing. Very key. You said that. Find what works for
Mhm.
you. Find your spot. Find your sweet spot. As much as when the world was going as it was, we were doing our thing, and whatever we were doing, work or business or whatever was happening, family. But it's finding the new sweet
Yeah.
spot. Like what brings you joy, what brings you peace. Man, that's good. That's some good stuff. Look at you, all that
I'm
wisdom.
trying. I've been reading this book called Calming Your Anxious Mind. It's from Jeffrey Brantley, and
Ooh.
this book is so amazing. It breaks down how our brains work and what anxiety and fear is. So, yeah, I struggle with that a lot. So I'm glad we touched on that. I just hope whoever's listening to know that you're not
Yeah.
alone, and there is definitely ways to heal that part. Anxiety and fear and all that is not a part of who you are. It's just a part of life,
Mm.
but you can learn to manage it.
That's so good.
So,
I like that. You got to say
yeah,
that again. Anxiety, what?
anxiety, you can
I love it.
definitely, it's not a part of you. It's just a part of life. So, but
I'm writing that
yeah.
down.
Oh, you writing something I wrote down? No, I actually have
Yeah, I
you.
just
I,
did it.
you wrote something on Instagram. I think it was "Speak life into your day." That's up on my board, and that's from you.
Oh, I made it. I made it. Hey, but that's the
Mhm.
truth, man. Especially when you're having a day, of
Yeah.
anxiety. You got to turn it around and speak like, I mean, that's the only way I
Yeah.
survive in this world is to, where it feels like
Mm.
death, I have to speak life. And
Yes.
I believe that God has given us the power to do that. And so, why not use the power that we've been
Mm.
given instead, in place of sitting back and being taken advantage of? And I don't mean by a person, I mean by the negative
Yeah.
thoughts in our mind and how they can hold us hostage and take away our joy, our peace, our sleep,
Yes, it can.
especially with women that take away our beauty,
Our
take
youth,
away
our y-
our
yeah,
sexiness,
our
our youth,
confidence.
our, making us
Mhm.
our confidence, yeah, and just making us feel less
Right.
than because those negative thoughts are strangling
Yeah.
us
Yeah,
if we
if we
listen,
feed that
and
to
if we
ourselves.
don't use if we listen,
Mhm.
because some of us don't know any different but to
Yeah.
listen. So I'm really hoping and praying that as they listen to you talking today, they see the power of
Mhm.
affirmations, taking time for yourself, believing in yourself, even when people laugh at you,
Yeah.
even if it's
And it's
family,
tough,
and
and it's
still
okay. It's a
pushing.
normal feeling to feel like, you want to quit. It's normal, but don't stay knocked down for a while, for long. And I also too, like, I journal a lot. I have probably like seven, maybe six or like seven journals where I just write everything. And that's how I empty my negative thoughts, by just writing it down, getting it
Mm,
out of my head. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect and I'm not trying to portray that. I go through the same life stuff, but this life is hard, especially what I do. It's a lot. So I have to, like, it's a must to keep feeding myself and feeding my spirit. So I would suggest, women,
mhm.
if you don't have anyone to talk to, or if you don't feel comfortable talking to someone, first I will always suggest prayer. Second, counseling. And if none of that
Yeah.
works, then journal and just, go to the dollar store,
Yeah.
buy you a journal, some pens, and just get going. And you never know what you sometimes I'll just pick up my journal and just write. I won't even start anything, and I will go for like 9 pages long, and I'm like, I don't even know. And then I just
Mm.
leave it alone. I never read it again. I just, let it be what it is. So, but yes.
You just throw up on
Yeah,
the page. I love
exactly.
it. You just
That's exactly
you just relieve yourself.
that's exactly
But
what happens.
some people, and I love it. I hope that they would listen to that because you cannot be scared of your
Mhm.
thoughts. And I love that you say you don't necessarily go back and read it. You just let them
Mhm.
out.
Exactly.
And you could go back and read it eventually, but it's not about
Yeah.
that. It's about getting it
Releasing.
out and cleansing
Yep.
yourself. mm, I
Yeah.
love it. So, oh my gosh, this has
It
been great.
has.
And I know we have some, I'm gonna ask you how people can contact you or follow
Okay.
you and listen to your music, but first, before we do that, I want to know, I need you've dropped some nuggets, but what words of wisdom can you leave with the listeners? And I don't care where it comes from and what the audience you want to actually speak to. You could pick one or you could just make it general. But what words of wisdom could you leave with them?
Well, I wanted to touch base as far as like modeling really quick, as far as wisdom and women
Oh,
who,
sure.
girls who
Okay.
listen to this and want to model. I would suggest, uh, like if you've never done it, to dream big but start small. And what I mean by that is definitely look at yourself
Mm,
on billboards and magazines, but start small is like, building your portfolio, because if you stretch yourself too far too soon, you'll wear yourself out and then you want to give up. So, um,
mm,
just reach out to people in your area,
yeah.
photographers, makeup artists, build your portfolio, learn your angles, look in the mirror, practice your angles, take pictures, put your self timer on, just take pictures to practice, the way your face looks, your body. Um, I would say turn on some music and just dance. That's the one way I've learned my body, by just moving and dancing. Um, and yeah, and anyone who's out there who's listening to this that want to make music, I say just do it. Like, don't wait for anybody. Just do it. We have iPhones that have great quality. You can shoot your own music video. Um, there's engineers and studios all around everywhere, so you can just, hit up your local engineer or your local studio and put your work out there and just create, and don't be scared. You just never know what might come up from that. But words of wisdom that I give is to stay true to your roots, stay true to yourself, and always be open to growth. Like, don't think that where you are is where you're always going to be, because it's not. And if you are, that's not really a good thing, because you should be growing. um, so
True.
yeah, I just would
Mm.
say take care of yourself. I think it starts there. Like, and everything else will flow and follow. So that's pretty much what I would say. But
Wow.
I wanted to touch base on the
Yes.
modeling, because I know women always ask me like, how do I get started, or what do I do? And my I can only give you, advice from my experience, and I just started from shooting, just creating with photographers in my local area, and just, I would do my own makeup, I would do my own hair, I would put my own outfits together and just shoot with really cool photographers and post it and get feedback. And then that just transpired to, here I have a portfolio now, taking it to agencies. So everything is becoming digital now. So it's like,
Mm.
you know, Instagram is like really kind of, it's grown to be an agency of its own. People are making millions of dollars.
Tell the
They're
truth.
making
Tell the
so much
truth.
money from posting a
Yeah.
picture. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's how I would say it.
And your pictures are
But
amazing. And how can people see you on Instagram?
yes.
And what's your handle there? Did I sound cool? What's your handle? I don't even know
That
if
is,
that's the
that's,
word.
you were right. You were right.
Oh, good. What's your handle?
So, um, so you can find me on Instagram. It's Deja Janea underscore DejaJanea underscore. That's the same for everything, for YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Music, um, I think you can probably Google my name. Obviously, you can Google anybody's name, and it
Oh,
pops like it populates, all the social medias. So, yeah.
yeah. Okay. And I'm also going to add that to the show notes so if people want to just look at that.
Yes.
But at anywhere, Deja
Under
Janae underscore. You can
Instagram.
find you anywhere. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thanks for dropping your wisdom.
Mhm.
Thank you for taking out the time to be on the Strong Woman's podcast. And you're
You're
amazing and you're
amazing.
strong, and I
Yes,
admire
I
you.
admire you. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see what people's people's opinions of. But I hope I helped people, and I'm just grateful.
And you did.
Thank you.
You helped
You
me.
helped me.
So you already started with one.
Oh.
I'm going to go start my bath. So we got to go.
There we go. There we go.
All right. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. And I wish you great
Thank you
success
so much.
and prosperity, Deja.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.